3 throws from this one setup. We got also Lugati, we got full Uchigari, we got the Ashibarai. We have a couple more, which we just won't go into, but you got Kita-Garuma, different dropping throws. You can always, if you want it from here, you know, if I do this and he keeps his hips away, this is why judo people love wrestlers. You got Harai Goshi, you got keeping those punches. Okay? People do that one wrong all the time, and first he gets their back and blah blah blah. Then you gotta make sure you do it. Ippon no goshi when his hips are back. Okay? It's when I go, I'm actually gonna hug his shoulder. Okay, this is why people are too used to gi. When I grip the gi, you know, I'm just going to grip down on the shoulder. So when I drop, I'm actually going to be dropping next to this leg, going down. And you don't drop too underneath him where you get somebody take your back. If I do this wrong and it stalls here, which doesn't happen a lot, move on. Koguchigake. That is always right there. It's the moment you start and go, didn't work, I'll keep pulling. Really take your back and you get choked out. But if you throw with the mindset of, didn't work, come on. There. Okay? Always ready to move on. Every single time. Submission's always ready to move on. Okay? Any questions about that one? You won't do it, it's just there. There's a lot you can do. The reason why I set up this program this way is because I'm going to give you like 2 or 3 setups for about 20 different throws. Okay? Not a different setup for every single throw. That's useless unless you have 20 years to train. Then you'll be able every single way of doing it. Okay? Cool. If you have 6 months before you have to be in there, or a month, which is even worse, you don't have time to learn 3 different setups, let alone 20. You got 1 setup, 3 throws, 4 throws, 5 throws. I don't even think I've touched on like every single throw you can do for me yet. Okay? But that's all there. Okay? Any questions about the throws? We're going to go into more on Newaza groundwork today. No? Are you sure? Anybody who's experiencing any problems? Most of the time, the problems come from when you're trying to do something and your partner has, for some odd reason, done something different. So a lot of times I see this. When I do the step back, you do it improperly and he steps forward with the opposite leg. No, I've never seen that one. I mean, to the outside of my leg. No, I haven't seen it. Well, I've seen now. Step this foot forward. There. So I do this and he steps this foot forward. Okay? That means you weren't leaning on the leg. Doesn't mean that it was wrong. There's other stuff you could do from here. Okay? There's a lot of stuff. It's just when you're trying to do a Sukigami against that, it's when you run into trouble. Oh. You're not being sensitive to the feeling of where you're moving. If he does this, you gotta think, oh, no, wrong, something wrong, start back over. Okay? It's like when you're throwing punches. If you're used to doing a combination, and all of a sudden you do a jab and you do this overhand hook punch, boom! You gotta go back to, alright, something wasn't right, my setup wasn't correct, okay? Oh, that's right, I forgot to step, y'all. Step, there you go. So, something's missing. When something goes wrong, something's missing. Okay? So that'll be it for the throws today. I do like 20 to go. A bunch of throws at you, that should be enough for today. We're going to go into the groundwork. Okay? We're going to groundwork from this position. Let's stay there. I'm moving. Okay, we're going to groundwork from this position. This is where I'd like to be. If you follow them down, then you're in Usari Kisagatame, okay, which is hand under. This is Kisagatame. This is different, slightly different. This is good setup. Well, Munegatame right here, very close, very good control. Very good to isolate this arm. Okay. Also very good. We're passing over. Wrist locks here. All this cool stuff is here. This is mean, man. Okay. So, yeah. Oh. All right. So we're gonna assume we're gonna be here though. If you follow them down to there, we'll do some stuff a little bit. Okay. Of course, you have straight arm lock from here, always. All right. One thing you gotta remember is not to practice this from the sport perspective. You gotta practice this from the boom, striking MMA perspective. Because if I'm here, he pulls that arm up. Meanness can ensue. Okay? But being ready. You can go through your throw right into this. So your butt down. Good for you, you're done. You've got him, you've broken something. Okay? I keep my foot down in here. This is just the one I'm used to simply because he grabs his hands together. I switch sides. I can switch from here. I can switch. I can also move on to the leg locks. Okay? I can move on to lots of different chokes. He sets up. Chokes right there. Turn over. Chokes right here. Okay? You have this arm tucked. You turn over. You also have an arm lock right here with the choke. Okay? Yeah. Make him let me go. Okay? So, this is a really good place to be fighting from, especially if you're used to doing this. Controlling this leg. Okay, he tries to bridge out. Tries to roll over the other way or whatever. This is a secure position. This is a nice place. Tries to step over my head. Okay? Very nice and secure. This can be less secure sometimes. Depends on who's doing it. If a Gracie's doing this to you, it's probably more secure. Okay? They don't like the other one. Okay? But, so, armbar from here. Okay? If you throw in MMA, you especially end up here a lot, where you're hugging down on the arm. But let's say, assume that it slips out. Okay? That's why I have this hand ready to go. Head, face, meanness, step over. Sit up. Drag him on top of your foot if you got to. That might not work against a bigger guy, but if you're in the same weight class, then you're golden. When you sit back, hold him up with you. Hasn't even made it to my chest yet. Now imagine I was doing this at the exact same time I lift my hips up. Okay, horrible, horrible. Okay. Any questions about the arm lock? There's always a muscle press, just so you know. Always. Done. You can also have this arm lock here. Okay. Kimura, is that it? Kimura, okay. You always have Kimura here. But I like to pull back. This is a nice crank on the elbow. Turn. Be mean. Go back to the arm bar. Whatever you gotta do. Okay? So all I want you to do is start with the arm bar, then you can start troubleshooting some stuff. Ask about this, please. You know, like, how about this? Or what can I do from here? Or what happens when he does this? Okay, everybody got it? Go ahead.